Remember the name Patrick Baldwin Jr.? Once a first-round pick by the Golden State Warriors, seen as a high upside gamble with a sky-high ceiling. Now he's been waived by the LA Clippers. What happened? How did a former top 10 high school prospect go from a draft day headline to being on the outside looking in? Stick around, because we're breaking down the full journey of Baldwin's short and bumpy NBA career, and what this latest move tells us about the direction of the Clippers and the ever-cutthroat nature of the league. If you love NBA drama, underdog stories, and front office chess matches, hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives, and let us know your thoughts in the comments. The NBA is a ruthless business. One day you're a prized prospect with sky-high potential, and the next you're getting waived to make room on a roster. That's the hard truth former Golden State Warriors first-round pick Patrick Baldwin Jr. is now facing after being released by the LA Clippers. Let's rewind and break this down. Patrick Baldwin Jr. entered the 2022 NBA Draft with as much intrigue as any late first-rounder in recent memory. Taken 28th overall by the Golden State Warriors, he was a classic swing-for-the-fences pick. The Warriors were coming off another championship, and they had the luxury to roll the dice on a former top 10 high school recruit who had battled through injuries in college. Baldwin's college career wasn't what scouts had hoped. Playing at Milwaukee under his father, his season was plagued by injuries and inconsistency. But the raw talent? Still enticing. A 6'9" forward with a sweet shooting stroke, he drew comparisons to modern stretch fours and even whispers of Kevin Durant-light upside. If, and only if, he stayed healthy and developed. Golden State was the perfect spot. On paper, a stable culture, proven winners, and a developmental system that had turned raw projects into role players. But even with that setup, Baldwin never found his rhythm. In his rookie season with the Warriors, Baldwin averaged just 3.9 points and 1.3 rebounds over 31 appearances. He had flashes, those "oh yeah, I see it" moments, but they were few and far between. With a stacked roster and playoff ambitions, the Warriors couldn't afford to give him consistent minutes. The following summer, Baldwin became part of one of the most surprising trades of the offseason. He was packaged with Jordan Poole, Ryan Rollins, and some draft capital, all headed to the Washington Wizards in exchange for Chris Paul. The Warriors were moving into win-now mode, and Baldwin was collateral damage. Now on the Wizards, a team clearly rebuilding, you'd expect Baldwin to get more opportunity. But again, the results didn't follow. In a year and a half with Washington, he remained buried on the depth chart, unable to crack the rotation. His future was slipping away. Then came the 2025 trade deadline. Baldwin was shipped off again, this time in a 4-team blockbuster deal that saw Chris Middleton land with the Wizards and Kyle Kuzma end up in Milwaukee. Baldwin? He was essentially salary filler. The San Antonio Spurs acquired him in that deal, but clearly had no long-term plans for him. Within days, they waived him, opening the door for the Clippers to give him a look. The Clippers brought Baldwin in on a 2-way contract, offering what looked like a last-chance audition. But the window was short. He only played 2 games and barely made a ripple. And now the Clippers have waived him. The team had 3 two-way players already, including promising names like Kobe Sanders and Trentyn Flowers. In an effort to bring back Jordan Miller, a prospect they had previously waived but clearly still believe in, the Clippers had to make space. That meant Baldwin, once again, was the odd man out. So where does this leave Baldwin? He's 22 years old, a former first-round pick, still 6'9" with shooting upside, and yet he's on the free agent market again. His journey is now firmly in the territory of development project or G League hopeful. But let's not completely count him out. We've seen players revive their careers after early setbacks. Look at Cam Payne, or even Malik Monk. The tools are there. The question is, will someone take the time to polish them? As for the Clippers, their offseason has been one of the busiest in the league. With limited cap space, they've made major moves, adding big names like Brook Lopez, Chris Paul, Bradley Beal, and John Collins. It's a clear win-now push, and that means there's little room for experiments like Baldwin. Jordan Miller, by contrast, fits what they're looking for: versatility, defense, and a chip on his shoulder. The Clippers clearly believe he brings more immediate value than Baldwin did. This move is a reminder that the NBA is a league of constant churn. Prospects don't get 5 years to figure it out anymore. There are waves of young talent coming every draft cycle, and teams have to make quick decisions. Baldwin, for all his early hype, just hasn't shown enough. Still, there's a lesson here, for Baldwin and for fans. Talent alone isn't enough. You need opportunity, timing, health, development, and frankly, a little luck. Baldwin had one of the most unique pathways to the league, but he now finds himself looking for a fourth team in under 3 years. Whether Baldwin's NBA chapter is closed or just paused remains to be seen. Maybe he takes the G League route. Maybe overseas, or maybe, just maybe, another NBA team gives him a camp invite. But one thing is clear: the league waits for no one. If you found this breakdown insightful, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel for more real NBA stories, and let us know in the comments, do you think Baldwin deserves another shot? Or is this just another cautionary tale of a prospect who never lived up to the hype? Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.